This drawing took me 7 years to make. Acting is a rewarding yet frustrating organic meditation. It gave my subconscious a voice to mediate my evolution, helping me find a path both into then out of my brain. This is what I found through its making. At a certain point in my life, relationships seemed more confusing than worth having, so I stopped having them. I couldn't accept anybody more than the little I accepted myself, and trying to relate to people only highlighted my feelings of self-separation, exacerbating my existential human confusion and compulsive non-integration. So I consciously separated from my species, keeping spaces between me and everyone else. Unwilling to become somebody else's responsibility or have them become mine. When I was young, my family disconnected from each other, and I grew up thinking relationships to be strange, alien transactions involving a currency I didn't possess and rituals I didn't understand. I learned to hug the emotional shoreline, never venturing near deeper waters, wearing my mass of poor process like an apology as evidence of my inadequacy, trying to smile through a compacted wad of doubt while hoping people without could see the spirit hidden within. I would radiate negative self-images, defecating bricks of fear, then weaving them into walls between me and the world, considering myself to be physically unattractive like some sad, bookworm, skunk-based creature, using jokes to defend from rejection, keeping people at bay with a smile full of 10-foot poles, while unconsciously giving them control over my emotions. I would wear masks to cover my lack of self-belief, while in the dark nether region, pride and anger colluded to inspire poor decisions. Repetition made this habit invisible, a dark, never-ending waterfall of self-fulfilling prophecies. My being felt trapped behind this blockage, reaching for hope of a loving reality. I originally saw the sun as someone I'd want to be around, a person who inspires possibilities through consistent displays of self-worth, lending strength to attempt maskless interactions, shining like a beacon to those in doubt. I would attempt to imitate my perceived ideal, though sometimes feeling false, hoping to achieve a measure of evolution through osmosis, learning how to remove the clothing of my repellent process, allowing me to someday outshine these burlap shorts. I originally tried to make the tree look more on fire by making the spaces between branches appear like flames. A friend then told me that the tree looked like it was made from vaginas, which was true. But this made me start seeing the tree as my unfulfilled desire for physical intimacy, long absent. The attractive, sinuous intertwining of limbs and seductive orifices, the beautiful combination of forms engaged in fluid friction, a joined engine of peace creating heat and light, mixing rude simplicity with dancing, electric, etheric, intricate intimacy. But without self-acceptance, intimacy to me felt like the sealed pattern of this tree. A warm, beautiful idea, but with no visible points of entry. Both of these interactions seemed to be trapped on the other side of a space both vast and without any real depth. A distance I could only cross through comprehension. In the midst of this confusion, the peaceful brick of Taoist thought was added to my process wall, asking questions to make self-assumptions more visible, showing that the perception of rejection begins within, being the spoon I use to dig a hole in the wall of my imprisoning patterns, allowing me to float through into the shine of my prime elements. Unburdened of my timid inner middleman, I stopped doing things like blaming the past for ruining the future, quantifying my existential loss, and hitting myself in public. This labor slowly gave birth to a new sense of self. As the mental shouts of doubt began to quiet, my guiding inner icons became more audible, helping me be myself in the moment, rather than the reflection of somebody else's perception. Reducing unnecessary thought was like turning off lights to see the stars. After its making, I realized the icon of my fetal self had become a combination of the tree and sun, helping me see those images didn't represent what I was waiting for. They were who I am, at the core. The sun didn't represent my savior. It's me at my best behavior. A direct reflection mirroring my movements, the vision of my most appropriate reaction in every situation. Confident, relaxed, unburdened, joyful, illuminating the dark with human acceptance, a reflective beacon of independent self-actuation. The person I can only be when I believe. Stripped of its sexual metaphor, I started seeing the tree as a representation of my singular perception. The unique pattern of intertwined complexities that shape my individuality. The excitement of my internal dancing abacus, recreating my intrinsic reality with every thought. A phoenix fueled by the fire of passion sought. The pilot light of possibility within us all. The roots drew down to form the outline of a Buddha in peaceful repose, reminding me of the need to not get lost in the fires of mental friction. At first I thought the figures to the bottom right represented people that would help me into the future. But, like the images above, the ones below went from desperately seeking saviors to learning how to improve my own behaviors. The first figure represents allowing relationships to be uncomplicated at the beginning, encouraging simple social action, appearing in public as an object without need, comfortably sharing space with other objects, exhibiting energy born in the fire of rediscovered self-worth, for the first time believing in the earth, opening to absorb the light. I'm learning how to be a beacon of independent self-actuation, wielding a more peaceful processing engine than in the past, accumulating positive experiences that will last while disposing of the unnecessary negative, not treating emotional responsibility like a hot potato or angry monster to hide from. When you stop criticizing, the need to impress is less. You just be instead of wondering how, attaining a state of self-evidence. Every relationship I have will reflect the one I have with myself, and the more of yourself you possess, the less you feel you've lost. Unburdened by imaginary negative pressure, breathing and smiling become easier to maintain, adding to the fact of attractiveness. Visible self-acceptance is much more easily found, so I just have to find the best vision of me and be that, regardless of any previous expectation. It's a right now kind of thing.